Welcome to NC Political Tea, the show where North Carolina's political scene gets served piping hot, grassroots style. We're here to shake up the status quo with unapologetically conservative takes and a whole lot of Southern charm. From the halls of Congress to under the dome, we're exposing the deals, the drama, and the dirt that the mainstream media won't touch. Who's fighting for your freedom? Who's selling out to the woke mob? And who's about to get roasted? No fluff, no filters, and absolutely no time for spineless politics. Just bold Republican commentary, sharp analysis, and enough sass to make the left squirm. So grab your sweet tea or something stronger, and let's dive into the hottest headlines and juiciest scandals rocking the Tar Heel State. This is NC Political Tea, where the truth always gets served.
Yeah, it do.
What?
Yeah, it do always get served.
It does always get served, even if you don't like it.
Even if you don't like it. That's kind of how truth is. Typically, you don't.
No, people hate the truth. That's the bottom line. You know what they hate more? They hate when you're really honest. Like if you tell them truth, like, girl, you need to, I'm not talking about you, change your shirt. They don't like that.
I knew it.
But if you say the other color looks better, they can handle it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's funny you say that because I did change my shirt, and you know that right here in front of you before we started. So I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I'm not talking about you right now. It just so happened that it happened right before we got on here, and it was crazy.
It was great. We have some wardrobe malfunctions around here. We're not going to lie. We care about how we look for you.
Yeah, that's what
we're not
doing.
going to come here in a hoodie.
Well, I've done it before.
Oh, well, both of us aren't going to do it at the same time.
You're lucky I didn't do it tonight. It's freaking cold.
Well, listen, I'll take you how I get you. So, all right. So we had, while we were on air Tuesday, there was a special election in Tennessee in the 7th Congressional District, super red. Trump won there by 22 points. And I'm going to tell you my observations. You tell me yours. I think we see here, I mean, this is a far left wacko with a crazy ass name, Afton Ben. Sounds like a treatment for like athlete's foot or something. But
sounds like she didn't grow up in Tennessee.
She didn't grow up in Tennessee. AOC came in there and supported her. To me, it looks like this is just a statement that Trump voters are not really Republican voters. Because what is this? 9.8 points won by. He was sworn in today. I mean, great guy, great background. And here's the thing. It wasn't like the GOP was caught flat-footed with this special election. They had a ton of, they put a ton of resources, time to get out the vote. And the vote was about on par for what midterms are in terms of the turnout.
I don't think like you. I mean, I'm just going to tell you what I think. First of all, the GOP in Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina are weak. They're weak. There's a lot of similarities in the grassroots not getting along at all with the establishment who seems to run the GOP. They're lazy. They are lazy. They could have easily done more to get that vote out, and they didn't. And you paid for it. And I will say, Republicans have voter fatigue right now. Voters have voter fatigue.
But the turnout was as good as the midterms. So for a special election,
for a midterm,
for a special election, I thought that was exceptional. I really did. That they were able to get the same turnout in a special election because they are voter fatigue, right? So the fact that we got out, the same amount as a midterm, doesn't that impress you? I mean,
listen, I think it impresses me a little bit, but they could have easily done better. Here's what I don't think Republicans and GOPs are doing across the states well. They're not going after unaffiliated voters, which we know are Trump voters.
Yeah.
They're just not. If you're not in the base, they really are not going to cater to you.
So they're going after, so strictly base voters. What about this mythical low propensity voter stuff we're hearing?
Oh, I think that low propensity voters, well, I think you have to treat them differently. I don't think that they normally vote in special elections. Now, under certain circumstances,
Right.
they might.
Right. Well, I can tell you what we did see. What we saw here is the same thing in Tennessee, same thing we saw in our municipals here.
I knew
Our
you were going to say that.
Well, our municipals here in Wake County in particular, it's the biggest county in North Carolina. That we had 10 points, not 10%, 10 points higher turnout, and we still lost our ass. Here's the thing. Democrats are fired up. They are really fired up. We saw that in Tennessee. If an AOC light can win get 45 points, 45% of the vote in deep red Tennessee, that should not be that way. That should not, we should have had a bigger margin.
You would think. But once again, special elections, I will tell you what what I'm concerned about now is we're going to have a special election for MTG. And that's a deep red area. And I guarantee you're going to see the same thing.
We have a primary, and from my understanding, I'm hearing from people who entered the primary today, actually, and said that the field was absolutely enormous. So there's going to be a runoff.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the stats as you are, I'm sure. I'm not going to pull them every day because, frankly, I don't want to. But I've made it a point every 3 days to see who's filing. And it is very interesting to see where we're sitting on the filings right now. I haven't massaged the data, meaning I haven't pulled it down and really pulled through all the numbers yet. I'm going to do that probably today. Yeah, I know you were working on that. But the goal, like just in my little county, just to put it out there, no one has stepped up for one school board seat. No one.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, to be fair, okay, 19th is coming up. And how many days now?
We got 2 weeks.
4? Yeah, we've got a longer filing period, right? So, okay, so soon this came out from Locke. By the way, we'll be relying a lot on Locke Foundation data tonight. Thank you for that. So let's not get too excited here. We Republicans are about to overtake Democrats for the first time in history for registrations.
Listen, I don't care. That doesn't excite me. You know what excites me is when we start taking over unaffiliated voters, because that's the biggest number of voters in this state. Now, it is exciting. It's a push in the right direction, and I am excited. I don't want you to get, twisted about that, but I hear people all the time go, "Oh, look at us. We're winning. No, we're not. We may be overtaking the Democrats, but we still have a large field to get through to get those unaffiliated voters that are conservatives."
Whoever says we're winning didn't take a look at the municipals in Durham.
That's right.
Well, actually not in Durham, but in Wake County, in Wilmington, that area, with the city council got wiped out, New Hanover County, and Mecklenburg County. You're not taking a look at that, because I look at that. It's depressing. It's depressing for Republicans. We need to wake up. We lost mayoral races here in 3 cities that we held for years. And our turnout was 10 points higher. It's not like we can say, "Oh, people are just too comfortable. They've been mollycoddled. They don't really know." They got their asses out to vote. I'm telling you, the Democrats are fired up.
I think this is a preview of what you can expect in the midterms, and I will make some predictions that people will castigate me for, and I don't care. If you're not watching Haywood County or Madison County up here, they were red, they were blue, now they're red.
Where are they?
Teetering. They're in that little area outside of Buncombe County,
so
which is
to the left, guys. When you're looking at this, go to the left. When you see 120,
is it like 237? Is that what the number is below Buncombe County in blue?
We don't have 237.
I can't see it from here.
We have
the purple. The light orange county below Buncombe.
Okay, so that would be
117.
117. Okay.
And then the one above it that is 118.
117 is Prather's district. It is a +2 Democrat, just so you know. And that one is considered on the bubble. We're going to go over some of those.
I think that's Mark Pless's district, isn't it? I don't know.
That one isn't. That one's Prather. But look, I just want to go into my little monologue here about this.
Oh, go ahead.
So the House map this cycle, it's going to start. You can already see that, guys. A Republican advantage. When you see red there, it's either lean red or safely in our column. But this is not a free pass in a midterm environment. Okay, there's 120 seats in the NC House. The CPI breakdown that we're going to be looking at tonight: 37 safe Democrat seats plus 6 likely Democrat and 4 lean Democrat. So 47 seats that lean blue before you even get to the battlegrounds, right? I know that we're kind of blinded by red, but I'm going to break this down just a little bit more. So check this out. On the Republican side, the CPI tonight will show 41 safe Republican seats, okay? 41 versus the Democrat safe seat, and then they have 47, right? So that's not terrific. Plus 10 likely Republican, 15 lean Republican in that column. That's 66 seats altogether that lean red. So that's more than the Dems. Okay, right in the middle, you've got that zone where this is where the control gets decided. Okay, 7 toss-up seats. Now, because the House needs 61 seats to control the math, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, we already have the House. Now, we would love to have the supermajority back, just so you guys know. For Republicans to keep the majority, and that's what we have to do. We have to at least keep our majority. The path is going to be win all the safe and likely Republican seats and then take 10 of the 15 lean Republican districts. In other words, Republicans don't just need to run the table everywhere. They need all their lanes to behave like solid Republican. It's manageable, but I'm telling you, the municipals scared the shit out of me. It was a warning sign. I shot across the bow, number one. Number two, we've got midterms. Midterms typically behave, especially with what would be considered a lame duck presidency. People will vote against the party in office. Now, Margot, I just want to end with this. The Democrats' route, it is tougher. So to win the chamber, the Democrats, they need to hold all of their safe and likely and lean, all of them. They have zero margin for error. That's going to be 47. Then they've got to sweep all 7 toss-ups. That's going to be really hard, but that gets them to 54. And then they're going to have to flip the 15 lean Republicans to reach 61. Now, I know you're saying that will never happen.
I'm not saying that.
We need to get off our ass. I mean, that's the story of the election, what I just told you, though. I mean, Republicans, as you can see from the map, we're favored. But the Democrats need both perfection and those toss-ups that we'll talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the toss-ups tonight and big breakthroughs in the Republican-leaning territory.
I think the best example of that is the Sossaman seat. I mean, that was the one seat that we
tonight.
Yeah,
so we're going to talk about Sossaman up in Granville, and we're going to talk about
tonight. You're right, though. It's that seat that kind of told the story, because that broke us of a supermajority. And
yes, it did.
And that district has a lazy GOP.
In Granville, I want to be clear. Granville GOP, right? Granville GOP.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me finish. Granville County GOP is magnificent, and I'm going to prove it to you tonight with some numbers.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying.
I know you're saying congressional district leadership.
Correct.
I couldn't agree with you more. But the county. So, guys, if you're listening and you don't know this and you're in the weeds, we have county GOP, and then we have a bigger geography, which includes many, many counties that are congressional districts, and they're big. And we know Me Gusta, the SOB that runs Congressional District 1. So we're trying to, All right. So we really need to talk about what we need to do, because look, the maps again look favorable. I told you what could happen if they get super lucky, and we are known for effing up a 1-car parade in the GOP.
With the clown cars on the side.
Okay, so we have got to do this. We've got to fortify the base in conservative counties. We need that red county firewall. We've got to invest in high turnout operations in red counties already, right? These are on our statewide races. We've got to get Johnston, Lincoln, Union, churches, gun clubs, parent networks. I'm not hearing of much of that happening.
Yeah, you don't really hear that outside of the Scott Pressler movement much, which is kind of sad, to be honest with you. He's inventive. He's done a lot of things, and you just don't hear those types of go to the gun club, gun shows, go wherever Republicans or conservatives hang out, churches specifically. And we also don't do a good job. We know for a fact that there are a lot, especially in Gadsden County, a lot of conservative Black Republicans. They're not even Republicans. They're just conservatives who will vote Republican if you go talk to them. And we're just not doing a good job of going to get them.
Right. We have to get them. This is going to be, I think the midterms is going to be a turnout operation. So again, people will say, oh, see, you're away. I don't give a damn. I'm going to tell y'all, we're going to review tonight. We're going to paint a picture of what a bleak world it's going to be if we lose the majority. And I'm telling you, this is not a game.
No,
this is going to be dark, deeply dark shit. Okay.
Yeah, but now the next one is probably the most important thing you can do in any event, because if you carry the lower bottom, you're going to carry the top.
Right. So immediately we need to get local candidates. So if you don't have school board, et cetera, we've got 2 more weeks, you need to make a phone call. And here's my general rule. It depends on like your county. If somebody already knows 100 people they can get out to vote, that's who you want. In my county, if they can bring out 300, that means they're active in a big church. Mm-hmm. They already work.
They work in a club. They're part of a club.
That too. Okay. So that's what we need to do. We need to do that right now. Let's see. Did I put this one up? Okay, hold on. Let me remove this one. Okay. Unify over kitchen table issues. I'm telling you, they're going to bring things about the national stuff like, oh my God, can you believe they're doing immigration, this, that, and the third? You have to find in your area a pain point and keep pushing the hell out of it.
Well, no cash bail was a pain point, I believe. And we all, and listen, well, I think there's one thing that Charlotte illustrated is it's not the immigration issue. It's the criminal element of the immigration issue. And if you can pull those apart, that's a winner.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're going to try to force us to say that we're, picking up as soon as a woman delivers a baby, if they're illegal, we're plucking them out and sending them back. We cannot let that bullshit narrative go. Okay. Suburban women and unaffiliated voters. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to struggle in the midterms with women voters because they're going to take national issues and be able to bring it down. And we already know this. And so we have to start making this immediate and start doing it right now. So
on that one, the number one thing you hear from mostly, I would say centerline liberal women is abortion, abortion, abortion. They always say that. And my answer back to them is, how much more do you want than 12 weeks and 6 days, which is and has been the steady policy? Because what your radical friends want is full-term abortion till the second the baby comes out. So let's just talk about it. Where do you want to be? So if you can start the discussion in that vernacular, I think you're going to do you can do some things. We worked on that in the Punch Bowl, and I've noticed that there's a line where they're like, I don't want to do that. No. They're all for women's rights. But when you start pressing them on it, they don't want to go down that road.
Well, I've been able to have a little bit of traction by shrugging my shoulders and saying, look, it's settled law.
Well, that's good.
Supreme Court settled it, blah, blah. But my interest is something day to day. In fact, let me paint the picture. I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bills that the Democrats put up. And if the Democrats were in control, this is the legislation you will be getting, because I want to make this very clear to everyone. Republicans will not be able to stop the next 5 bills I'm showing you that they are trying to pass. Ready? Here we go.
Get through the ones we want.
Just like what you were saying, legalizing late-term abortion. This is a bill. This is not hyperbole. This bill has been written. This is the name of the bill that was just put up by Democrats in the North Carolina House. Taxpayer-funded abortions. Federally, I don't know if that's going to go over. Prohibits any government modification on abortion. Allow physicians, assistants, nurse practitioners, and certified midwives to give abortions. That means
nuts.
Access. People will be coming here from all over hell's half acre to get their taxpayer-funded abortions. They'll have full access to it with no restrictions in North Carolina. I'm going to repeat this to you. If we lose, control of the legislature, that is a bill waiting to be passed by the Democrats right now.
I know that's their number one. That is the number one white liberal women's issue. And listen, I talk to college kids a lot, and I will tell you, they have a misframed idea about abortion based on what they hear in college and from their friends. And when I start framing it up to them that, like, listen, there's only 9 states and only, I think, 7 countries in the world that allow full-term abortion. And oddly enough, I can't even believe this is true, but Alaska is one of them. We do not want to be one of those states, period.
So if you are active in your church community, you screenshot this right now, and you need to take this to every single one of your parishioners. Let's say there's 300. Make sure every damn one of them gets out to the polls. This is an actual bill waiting for passage. This is a very important issue. I know this to a lot of church-going folks. You need to make sure that everyone understands what they're trying to pass. Here's another one. This is a bill they are trying to pass. Mandates racial hiring quotas and race-based hiring for every public school. Black teachers are just as great as white teachers. That's fine. If you're hiring on just that, that is insanity. Requires DEI training for teachers that puts anti-Christian, anti-male and family and pro-queer studies into every classroom. This is a bill the Democrats are waiting to pass after this election.
That is communist right there. All that stuff is
absolutely insane. And by the way, if you're not worried about it now, it's because the Republicans are there as a firewall. You will be worried about it once this happens prolifically everywhere. Creates a state DEI office to police school districts. That's not going to work, and puts all the power in Raleigh and takes away local autonomy. Again,
danger, Robinson.
This is what is going to happen. I'm telling you, if we lose the State House, you have to understand that we're teetering on a knife's edge. Repealing the Parents' Bill of Rights. We have a Parents' Bill of Rights we passed 2 years ago in North Carolina.
Some parts of it are still up in the air. There's some pieces of the healthcare part that's still in the Senate, which we were counting on in the January term. So this is very important, and it's very timely.
It's critical. So that you can kiss that bye-bye. Now look at this one. This scares the living shit out of me, and I'm telling you, it should scare everyone. Lifts North Carolina's ban on child sex change procedures for children, including hormone surgeries and state funding restrictions. Here's what that means. You may say, well, President Trump has an EO.
They don't care.
Yeah, and God forbid something happens to that election. We cannot lose control. This is the last layer of patrol, I'm telling you. It gives children, get this, a fundamental right to sex changes without parental notification or consent. All healthcare workers in the state will be required to complete LGBTQ training, including systems of oppression. Defines gender as non-biological, which is anti-God. Two-spirit, transgender, non-binary, and other shit is put in there for specialized care. This is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's a bill.
And they're holding on to that, hoping they win.
It's already waiting.
Yeah.
It's what's going to happen. And this is just one. Prevents ICE from going to farm or construction sites. Well, I'm going to show you just in a week who's been caught just in one county, and you're going to understand how dangerous this is. This is also has another bill, extends to churches, hospitals, and schools.
Pretty much anywhere. Let's just be honest. Pretty much anywhere. They're going to cover them in as many bills as they can to cover as much territory as they possibly can.
But churches and hospitals and schools.
That's just
that's where you're going to have all these gangbangers and murderers and terrorists, pedophiles, sure, why not? Yeah, join, right, to hide out in schools. This is serious. So this is actual stuff that's being put there. So let's talk about primaries. Are you ready? Okay, because that's where the real fun is. Okay, so we've got a primary in let's see, where is this? Okay, House 48. Now this is a D+3. Garland Pierce is the longtime rep there. It's in Hoke County, Scotland County. So you're seeing Kirk Lowry, who I believe is a Lumbee in the Jared Lowry's family. Okay, who's going to run against Ralph Carter, who's a doctor, who is an orthopedic surgeon there in the area. And Ralph Carter, had a matchup, came pretty close to winning, had a matchup against Garland Pierce last time. That was in 2022. Say 2022, 2024. I think it was 2022 he ran, yeah, and came pretty close. So there's a primary going on, and I can tell you, I'm not a fan of doctors being in the legislature.
Well, because we've seen what they don't do.
Ralph Carter knows about this foreign doctors bill. And if he runs on doing something about it, he'll win. If he runs on being an also ran and a rubber stamp for the terrible things that the House has done in that respect, he has no differentiating quality from his opponent. Ralph, if you're listening, and by the way, I know you watch the show. I know you do. You have to differentiate yourself and do the right thing. This foreign doctors bill
is a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. And you're going to fix it by fixing it and not BSing around and tinkering on the margins. Now, Donna White, this is funny, has come out. Actually, Donna White has been in Johnston County for years. Yeah. She's been in there, I think 6 terms. Yeah. And I think she's got an R+3. But she's running against someone without a presence at all online, except here she is. She's gone to so many meetings. Now you see this and you would think she's in the teachers union, right? Well, she's constantly out there advocating for the stuff teachers want. Okay, North Carolina teacher loves her job and not her paycheck. I'm on a mission to raise awareness, et cetera, et cetera. So what I was able to find on her is a perfect voting record for Republicans for the last 10 years. So we know that.
Well, listen, Donna White is going to be pretty hard to beat. She's got the money, first of all, and she's got the prestige, and she actually works well in the House. And I'm just going to give her a shout out. I'm going to support her because Donna White's done good things with me. I've actually met with her staff. They've done we're working on a bill together with her staff and with the Carl Gillespie staff. And if you're going to support us in keeping North Carolinians, I don't care what party you're in, safe, I'm going to support you.
Well, I'm like Trump. If you like me, then I'm going to love you. And Donna loves me, so I love Donna back. She's also a nurse.
Yeah.
But you're right. She's going to be hard to beat. Okay. So no primary challenger for Tim. Tim is another one who's on my list. NC House 9. This is the same matchup from last time. This is the Democrat who's running. So this is not a primary. What you're looking at is not a primary. Okay. And then Reader is R+3 also. So Reader's R+3. He's backed by a lot of money. He's the guy that actually pushed the foreign doctors bill. And
my ask would be someone in that district that is a Republican that has some clout. Yeah. Please run. Just run.
Primary. Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to be
vote like a Democrat. You might as well, come on.
Well, yeah, he's trans Republican. So that was a matchup from 24. But again,
against each other before.
That's right. Again, that was a presidential. Mm-hmm. Okay. Remember, the turnout and the fire
is different.
It's going to be different in the midterms. So do not kid yourself. Okay. So don't mess around. Here's another one. Don't mess around. Here's another matchup. Jeff Sanger in the Forsyth. He's got part of Forsyth and what's that? Alamance, I believe.
Yeah.
House 74. Okay. Amy Taylor North. As a rule of thumb, when you have 3 names,
and you're a woman. Let's just be honest. It's much harder to win as a woman. And when you add all the names to it, I'm just being honest with you. You're going to have a hard time.
Amy Taylor North, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mm-hmm. See? Mm-hmm. You see? Pain in the ass right there, right? Okay, here was the matchup. So look.
It was close.
It is what it is. Right. It is what it is. And this was a presidential year. Now, what does Amy want? Just what you said. Here's from her website. Abortions, abortions, abortions. She's abortion Barbie.
Look at that website, though. How messy. Like, you have to have bifocals on and pull that thing up with a microscope to read it. Poor Amy. She doesn't know what the hell
she's doing. Fight inflation. Get this. Fight inflation and fully fund our schools. Let me tell you how fighting inflation works. The only thing that fights inflation is to cut government spending. So she canceled herself out right there. Fight inflation, fully fund, which is a black hole of money, everything that our schools want when they're wasting it and blowing it.
Especially that district. We just saw that the auditor did a magnificent job of going through the Forsyth County school system and found all kinds of fraud.
Well, speaking of fraud, the woman is a fraud. Oh. Amy Taylor North, you're a fraud. Okay. But again, this is too close for my comfort.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you guys, we've got to sober up and start going. Oh, here's my favorite.
Oh, who's this?
Let me tell you. This girl is my favorite. Let's put her up here again. She's running in Mecklenburg for Congress. Her name is Chana is a first name. Forgive me, I don't know the last name. But she's running for Congress and she's making quite a stir.
She was all over the internet last night.
Well, here she is. Haters on their knees.
I just personally thought that having the hot tub in the background was quite a touch. Clearly, she was either in the spa, the gym, or at a hotel.
Yeah. So she, I checked on her. She hadn't filed yet, but she's running against the queen, against the hat queen, Alma Adams.
Oh, Alma Adams.
So we shall see. Now, we're going to get into it.
Yeah,
we've got to get into some GOP misdealings and debauchery.
Yeah, so this one's my personal favorite race, especially in the judiciary. And it's because I feel like Michael Barnes has really been, Barnes, I don't know, is Barnes or Barnes. Anyway, he's been given kind of a raw deal for a man who's done quite an awful lot of good in his career. So the story, straight from his mouth, this is not third party, he wanted to run, told people he wanted to run, and in the GOP, specifically in the folks that run the Judicial Victory Fund. He said, hey, I want to run. They said, oh, great. We'll get back to you. He shows up at the North Carolina State GOP convention, fully expecting to be able to give a speech, and they've already disseminated cards with the suite of people that they want on him, and his name's not on it. And he's a little bit like, what is going on? So I had a pretty good meeting with him. I think it lasted like 30 minutes. He's very intelligent. He's done an awful lot of good challenges in the judiciary. And I just frankly feel like, listen, if you're going to treat somebody like that, who's earned the right to, rule on things, I'm just automatically going to take their side, because I don't like the way that happened. I don't like the way that the Judiciary Fund is handled, especially when they have their fundraiser at a child rapist's house every year. Harvey West.
Hey, is that the same guy that's over Congressional District 1 GOP?
It is.
What are the odds? So weird.
I know.
So we don't like it when the GOP makes its choices for candidates for us. That's what a primary is for. Stay out of it.
Well, I just think that if you're going to build a slate and you're not going to be fair to one person, like, I'm all against that. If you don't know I'm an outsider looking in, like, I really am going to pull for Craig Collins and several others. I'm very impressed with some of them. But in this race, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I checked both of their records. Both of them have perfect Republican voting records, voting in primaries as a Republican, as well as generals since about 2012 for Michael and since about 2016 for the younger guy.
Yeah.
Now, so, okay. So we've got a three-way already so far. We've got the current Rowan sheriff who was elected in 2022. He is a 32-year-old vet of law enforcement in general. Okay. And so now we've got other sheriffs. We've got, let's see, Burleson, 27-year-old retired sheriff. And then Harrington, who has 32 years also of experience, current Stallings police chief. Okay. So the guy in the middle, all right, he wants to increase staffing. And the guy on the end, Tim, wants to have more trust with the community. But we've got, I mean, because in that area,
yeah,
you ain't gonna win if you're a Democrat.
Right.
So
It's
the
just
primary,
interesting.
yeah.
We have 3 in our county too, which is interesting, right? And you met Chris, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to see how people don't understand that the GOP should help them decide not to split the vote, but here we are in a primary and they get to do whatever they want.
Let me tell you something. Primaries are where it's at. Primaries are going to shore up our red firewall. I mean, a lot of Republicans win because they have an R behind their name, and that's fine. And we need that to happen, but we need to put quality Republicans in. I mean, I put all my time and energy into primaries. This is my season. These are the kind of campaigns I like. And again, to your point, we don't want the GOP in our primary.
Right. Well, so here's the point that I would say that is important. Now's the time to vet these people. Now's the time to ask the hard questions. You should be taking a list of questions with you wherever they're going to be, and don't be afraid to ask them. And if they can't answer, you should press them, because this is the time where the grit comes out. And if they're not willing to take a stand, this is not for you.
Correct. So here's how Rowan has been doing in terms of what we talked about, the voter registration. So when you see that pointed line right there, that red one, that's how Republicans have been doing. Look 2 lines down. You see that where the Democrats are? Mm-hmm. I was really not kidding when I said, Rowan, you're not going to win, right? I mean, it is a red county. So it looks like the Republicans, they kind of, in 2024, right after the presidential election, they've gone down a little bit. So have the Democrats, but they can't afford to. And then let's look at the line. Let's see, unaffiliated is that purple line, right?
It's going up.
It is. It is. So that's the deal in Rowan. Let's go to this one. Granville County Sheriff, I think it's Bill Fountain. Okay. Yeah. He's got a challenger. So Granville GOP has run well. Okay. Johnny Morris is going to be challenging him, right? Fountain has been there for a while, actually. And I think they've had a couple of times trying to take him out. But John Morris, he's been in the Durham PD for 30 years. So if you can make it in Durham and you're steadfast and you stay, you can make it anywhere. Okay. So the Granville GOP, whoops, it didn't look as good as I thought. Does it?
No.
Whoopsie. But the Granville GOP, this is where they are in terms of Republican. You're going to see that arrow pointing to the red. Okay.
Man, they're unaffiliated is off the charts.
Yeah, but you're going to see that Democrat is coming down. That's coming down, and we're staying steady. Right. So that's how it is up in Granville. Granville's got a couple of vulnerable seats that could go either way. It's really an either way kind of county. Wake County Sheriff, right where I am.
Oh, wow. You got a challenger from the Republican side, huh?
We do. And he's worked in the sheriff's department for over 30 years when Donnie Harrison was sheriff. So, and we need it because Willie Rowe is horrible and will not cooperate with ICE. And we've got to have it. Here's Wake County. Okay. Here's where we are. You see the red there, and you see that kind of maroon up through here.
Yeah.
That's the unaffiliated.
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, we're remaining steady. Democrats are dropping.
And the unaffiliated is going up.
Yeah. I mean, which makes sense because people see how you pull up your voting record. All right. So,
oh, look.
here's another tale of you do not want Democrats to be in power. This guy is a total DEI BLM freak, and he is in control of the largest school system in North Carolina, and it's the 15th largest in the country. He is a far left lunatic and advocates for not cooperating with ICE in any way. Now, that doesn't make sense because I'm going to show you the arrests from just this week in Wake County of illegals, trafficking heroin, possession of stuff on premises. Okay, that's just one. Wake County, one. Second one, okay, trespassing, damage to property, etc. Okay, all illegals here. Another one, child abuse, assault on a female, misdemeanor crime of domestic violence. We have got to get another sheriff. Here we go. Fictitious tag, speeding, reckless driving. That guy looks like he could kick your ass in a second.
Oh, you don't know. He has a thick neck. He might be thick all the way down to his ankles.
Yeah, that's not good.
What'd she do? Oh, drugs.
Entry to real property, possession of drug paraphernalia. We do not need Mexican drug addicts here. Get the hell out. Assault on a female. Domestic violence. Again.
No, he's a pounder.
This is just in a week. This is the damn gang guy for sure. Resisting public officer, simple possession of drugs. 39 years old. This one.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
The bitch was not playing. And domestic violence. I think the old man was acting up.
I don't know, but listen.
She whipped his ass.
The deadly weapon can just be about anything. You know, a skillet's a deadly weapon with the right person.
It could be a cast iron pan.
That's right.
This woman, drunk, and killed 2 people.
Oh, no.
So when you have BLM people in office, and we do, they're in control of the schools here in Wake County, and the sheriff refuse to cooperate with ICE. Those are the kind of elements we're letting into our schools, our neighborhoods, etc. You're at a crisis point.
Well, it's weird to watch what you're going through because I know we do have those things in Asheville. We are very fortunate here on the very, very far west side because all of the sheriffs here are pretty, hands-on with ICE and especially with any law enforcement that's going to enforce drug interdiction, because we do know from Atlanta that instead of going down 85, they will come through the mountains to be unseen. So
there's a lot of debauchery going on in the mountains.
Absolutely.
So ICE says that it's tripled since Trump took office. That's our only saving grace, is what they're doing at the federal level. Now we have some other frustrating when you're talking about Democrats wanting to bilk taxpayers for an endless stream of money that gets burned up in flames. Tell us about what the auditor said about this.
So I followed Auditor Dave pretty closely, and he puts out reports every week, and I always run the numbers. And so the things I look for are what's the full-time head count, what's the part-time head count, how much are we spending on actuating for pensions and for healthcare, because those have to be built in. They have to be. And then I always look at what's the total head count for students. And in this instance, it's like 1,600 students, which is a 6-to-1 ratio. And we, the taxpayers, are spending like $43 billion or $46 billion? A million. 42, so it's 43. $43 million a year for a school that has less than 1,600, right around 1,600 kids. And honestly, it's not worth it. It's the School of the Arts. It's the North Carolina School of the Arts. And here's what I have to say about this. I did some research. Georgia doesn't have a School of the Arts that is paid for by the state. They have SCAD, Savannah School of Art and Design, which is outrageously expensive. You pay to go there. But when you walk out of there, if you have a degree from there, you are really untouchable. And I also asked the question, who's famous that went to school there? And frankly, it's just really not.
They went here?
Yeah, it's just the path's not that great. But listen, since 2013, we really haven't had a lot of famous people. some filmmakers for sure.
Yeah, we do, but I hear you. Regardless, we don't need to be paying for all of this stuff. Now the budget news came out today. The Speaker of the House came out and said, "Look, we are going to resume, and the General Assembly will pick up on the 15th, December 15th." The budget still, they're at loggerheads. Look, the Senate wants a tremendous amount of money for unfunded liabilities, and a new hospital is one of them, a new kids hospital. Look, you're going to control inflation by not spending on the government side, right? Especially unfunded liabilities that can go on and
on. Well, listen, what we do know is that it's evident that there's some undertones of brawl between House members and Senate members. And I'm talking about people that I know personally who have, walked lockstep forever, who are now openly saying, hey, they won't do that, it's really kind of astounding. So there's definitely some missteps going on between the Senate and the House in North Carolina right now.
Well, there's some bad blood, but this is what Majority Leader Brendan Jones had to say when he was on our show. I think it's been like a couple of months ago now, but I'll let him do the talking.
Governor.
Whoops.
Medicaid was full.
Okay, hold on. I knew I was leaving one thing up, guys. Listen, I have to be, like I said, imperfect. Otherwise, you're going to think the show's driven completely by AI. So,
which one day it will be
funded till May of 26. He thought that he would be kind of cute with a bargaining tool that he failed to realize that doesn't work. We're not going to be intimidated by the governor. The General Assembly holds the checkbook. So he doing this, again, arbitrary hurt to employees and citizens of this state is wrong, especially to the rural areas that need it. So we're very disappointed. But back on it's a total of $300 million that the Senate's trying to tie our hands to. And what's odd about this is the General Assembly is not tied to a previous budget. At no times are you tied to it. So if the Senate feels like they should have had $300 million, that's something they should have handled in the 23 budget.
There you go.
We're on to the 25-26 budget.
There you go.
So we're not encumbered by anything that arbitrarily that they think they're due, which they're not.
Okay. And so that's what he said. And look, inflation is probably the number one thing people are thinking about right now when they're going out to vote. The tariffs didn't do us any favors, right? But we can do something on it statewide. If you're going to be spending that much money, it will always lead to inflation. I mean, there's a direct link for things we don't need.
Well, and I think the other thing is, like, where did all these things come from that we didn't need before? Like, when did we start needing a new hospital? And why do we need it right now?
Pet projects, right?
Exactly.
That's what's happening. So, that's kind of what's going on there. We just want to put this story up. This was, if I can get it up. Okay, in Cabarrus County, this is a story about one of their school board members had a heart attack during a meeting. And thank God, the other school board members came out and saved his life. I mean, this is Mills is his last name. And terrible story, but he came out today and said how thankful he was for he's a Republican, but for his Republican and Democrat, obviously, colleagues to come together to save his life. So,
well, and what the story is behind that is, doesn't matter what your politics are. We're all human, and we do. Listen, I'm not going to let you burn unless you're Harvey West. I'm not going to let you burn up. I really am proud of those board members to just step up and help that man.
Yeah, saved his life. So that's great. Now, okay.
We had to get into this one.
Listen, NASCAR is big around here. We talked about it last time. This is, I think this lawsuit came up today, I think. It's day 4, right, of the trial.
Yeah.
It's a company that's owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. He's from North Carolina and Front Row Motorsport. They're suing NASCAR. They're claiming basically monopolistic control over charters, revenue sharing rules that locks teams out of other series. It's what we talked about last week. So NASCAR's Scott Prime grilled on emails showing internal pushback against teams' demands for fairer deals. So, there's the other guy at front row, Bob Jenkins, called their charter offer insulting, highlighting his team $100 million losses, while NASCAR pulls in over $100 million a year themselves.
Yeah, these sponsorship deals and these charter deals are a big deal, and people don't understand the kind of money that goes into NASCAR until now that we're in the nitty gritty of it, you can truly see it.
Yeah, no, now we do. I mean, this isn't just racing in North Carolina. It's kind of the backbone of our economy in some areas. It's headquartered in Charlotte, so I'm born and raised with it. 90% of the teams are based here in North Carolina. A lot of them in Charlotte, Concord. It pumps over $3.8 billion into our local economy every year. That's, that's jobs, that's tourism, we get a lot in tourism.
But it's really the other part of it, Sloan, is it's really breaking down the fabric of who is who within NASCAR. And people are, it's like a Democrat Republican thing right now in this lawsuit. People are really getting ugly. It's turning really personal. We've seen several people come out and say, maybe I'll sue you. So the personalities are really starting to show.
And everybody that's threatening to sue has the money to do it.
That's right.
So, all right, the last story we're going to leave you with is a story that we covered last Tuesday, and it was Mark Kelly and the Seditious Six really making a video that directly gave orders. A lot of people thought. Stephen A. Smith even thought, which we're going to play in a minute.
Oh, I love him.
I love him too. But, he'll speak his mind. He's not a Republican at all.
No.
But
he's also respectful. He's respectful. He respects the office. And I appreciate that. Even if he doesn't like Trump, he respects the office.
Yeah, and you'll see that in this clip. But we felt like Mark Kelly and the Seditious Six were telling the military to not follow chain of command. So Stephen A. Smith showed up on The View, and I think they were very surprised by what he said.
In a video reminding troops that they can refuse to follow illegal orders. Okay. Let's see some of what you said, my friend.
Sure. You know better, Senator Kelly. You know better. How dare you do that? You could go to the House. You can draw up paperwork. You can try to start articles of impeachment if you think there's something illegal. Damn, it ain't like y'all haven't done it before. You impeached the man twice. Where'd that get you? Got us behind back in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Had you left them alone since 2020, maybe he wouldn't be back. You don't tell military men and women to ignore an order from the commander-in-chief. You don't do that.
Caffeine's a bitch, you know?
Now, let me just remind you that Pete Hegseth said in 2016, I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that. That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief. Okay. Now, given the fact that the secretary himself said that, I'd love to give you the opportunity to perhaps change your position on what you said.
I'm not changing a thing.
Okay.
I didn't stutter when
you
I
want to
said
stay
it.
Loud and wrong?
Well, you could call it loud and wrong all you want to. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
Whoa.
Listen, it's clear by the way Stephen A. Smith talks, he's got military members in his family. You can tell. And he also has a respect for this country's boundaries. And that is the type of Democrat that I can get along with. I don't have to agree with anything he says, but we have standards, decorum, and rules, and he's willing to live by them.
I think the ladies at The View were very shocked. He didn't change his facial expression. He was just very nonplussed by the whole thing.
He's not, listen, he does not give a damn what they think of him. And frankly, it's really kind of appalling to see somebody like Sonny, who probably has never had anyone in her family serve, try to take the stance that that's okay. Because it undermines everything my family has been a part of for generations.
Well, hell, it was horrible to see the 6 Democrats who all had military or intelligence experience directly to do that. So, it was crazy. And I think that issues like this can kind of cross bounds, as you say, that, people are pretty united. You know what else people are united with? The immigration. So you're gonna see too that this immigration is going to be weaponized. So I want you guys to watch out for that. And I don't care where you are. They're going to try to paint President Trump and paint ICE officials in a light that is so untrue. But we just gave you real live cases of what's been taken off the street, like this week in one area. So
I think people, listen, I've talked to Democrats who don't like the immigration thing. They don't like it. They know that their families are suffering with housing shortages, jobs specifically, the fact that even SNAP benefits, that kind of stuff really bothers them. So I think if we just highlight the positive, we are all Americans. We should want to be Americans for America, not Americans for foreigners to come in here and do what they've done in Minnesota. Just totally built the whole state.
Correct. And not only that, the ones in Minnesota, the men are head of households and they do not work. They do not work. Many of them, a lot of them have brought a family of 6, 8, 10 here. They do not work, and they're relying on the largesse of the American taxpayer to pay for their lifestyle, and they hate our country. So those in particular have got to get the hell out.
Amen. Hey, Sloan, it's been a great night. I'm not going to be here. Let's see. Tuesday, I will be here. Next Thursday, I won't. So I'm sure you're going to have a guest. And actually, the next 2 Thursdays, I won't be here. I'm going to be in Atlanta next week and then in Phoenix the next. But I want to say, I know that Hanukkah's coming up, and I just want to wish you well if I miss it, because I'll probably be so busy.
No, I'll be here on the 16th, but the 15th, I'll be in DC celebrating at a party. So,
yay.
No,
you'll have to take pictures.
I will. I do. So, okay. So we're going to be here Tuesday. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be here Tuesday. And make sure you share this with 10 people. I know I've gotten bad about not asking you guys. And right after this, I'm on a space on X, with the, Indian, it's a group of, Indian, Jewish people, etc., talking about, the Muslim Brotherhood and what that new designation is. What does it mean, etc. So if you're on X, join us right now. Good night. See you Tuesday.
Good night. See ya.
That's a wrap on today's NC Political Tea. We hope you're leaving sharper, spicier, and ready to take on the political craziness in the Tar Heel State. If you loved what you heard, or even if it made you mad, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this show with your friends, family, and that one coworker who just needs the truth. Follow us on social media to stay in the loop and get your daily dose of conservative fire. And remember, here in North Carolina, the grassroots grows stronger when we stand together. Until next time, keep the faith, keep up the fight, and don't let the left water down your tea. This is NC Political Tea, where we spill it like it is.